Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of Formula 4. We are here for our first ever sprint race. Different format today. We are going to be doing a one-shot quali, a 10-lap sprint, and then a 50% distance Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So, our first sprint race here at Formula 4 for the European division. Our Australian division did that earlier today, and it looked to be quite a success. Obviously, the Abu Dhabi circuit, slightly different from last year. Last year we had 21 corners, 12 to the left and 9 to the right. But this year they've updated the circuit, and now we only have 16 corners, 9 to the left and 7 to the right, with some big open corners now rather than some of the chicanes, which are hopefully going to add some overtaking opportunities. But as usual, I am not alone. I will be commentating with my co-commentator Diggle. How are you doing?
Oh, good evening, Blue Man. I'm doing really well. I'm looking forward to see how this evening's going to pan out. Like you say, the Aussie division looked like they had quite a bit of fun with the sprint race format. Obviously, one-shot qualifying we're going to see here to determine the grid for the sprint quali. So we've got a lot more track action, hopefully a lot more overtaking, and it's definitely going to keep us on our toes.
Yes, so it might be difficult for me to put a pole for pole because we're just going to have one lap, and everybody is, of course, going to be doing that lap at the same time. So I think pre-commentary discussion, I think we decided we're going to ride on board with our current championship leader in the shape of Death Dragon, who is currently leading the pot by 7 points, not to Pease, but to Curtis. Pease down into third, still trying to claw them points back from his absent week last week. 10 seconds to go before our one-shot quali session is about to begin. Straight away, we'll try and get these details up. We'll get on board everybody on the soft tyre. So let's find, where is Death Dragon? Death Dragon right down the bottom. Hopefully everybody got their setup in. In fact, Death Dragon is right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so obviously, yes, a different format we're going to see with one shot. It's all live delta, so all the drivers are going at the same time, and on the left side of your screen you're going to see their times and delta change to where they are relative to each other. I don't know if it's going to show the gap in regards to this. I don't have that up on my side, but already just like that, unlike last year, you mentioned the reduced corners already. DJ's on the back straight, heading down to this like tricky between the two straights, this little chicane you've got to get right. But again, you can see he's sitting around 8th. The grid is constantly mixing up. I'm seeing names drop, names rise. This is a lot more of an interesting format. But we're going to be coming down to the back end of the middle sector, which is, again, where they've just completely changed the layout. Instead of you disappearing up through this like little left-right, left chicane, it is a long left-hander that brings you straight into like the little Marina Bay underneath this like very glamorous and iconic hotel. And again, it's looked very neat from DJ so far. Of course, we can see where he is in response to everyone else, but again, it's a nice lap for our current championship leader. Only 2 corners to go. A lot of these corners have opened up a lot more now. We have pillars retire, and DJ comes down to the line, and well, there you go. Just like that, qualifying is done.
Yes. Probably the quickest qualifying session we've ever had at Formula 4, but we don't normally do a one-shot. We normally do a full quali here at the European division, and the Australians, they do a short qualifying session because the tyre rule no longer matters. But there we have Death Dragon collecting 5th to start the sprint race. So we have reserve on pole. Wouter? Is it Wouter? I wanted to say Walter, but there's no L. So Wouter, congratulations on getting pole here. So you will be starting our first ever sprint race from the front. But then we have Pease in second, Walker in third, Sloth in fourth, Death Dragon in fifth, Monkey G in sixth, Tom in seventh, Curtis in eighth, Xerxes ninth, Chewy 10th, Just Mikey 11th, Keezer in 12th, J Mart in 13th, Ramsel 14th, Extremist 15th, Liam Yes in 16th, Pillars 17th. We've seen him retire at the end, and we've seen an early retirement from Mini Little Junior. So that is our sprint race formation. So do we have a formation lap on a sprint? I don't know.
I believe there will be. A little fact to add though as well. I believe this is the most reserves we've had in a race this evening. We've got 3 in this evening. Like you pointed out, 1 on the front row. We kind of got a mix and match. One's in the midfield and one's near the back.
So interesting screens going on. We've got a 30-second countdown already going into our sprint race. So obviously there might not be much of a strategy needed for 10 laps at Abu Dhabi, because as we say, this year slightly shorter track as well, shortened by 0.17 of a mile, just for your interesting fact.
That distance must make a lot of difference for them, like you say, removing a lot of the corners, meaning the tyre wear is not going to scrub off so quickly. Looking at the tyre deltas earlier, from what the game was advising, one run on the mediums is going to be most common.
Cool. So we'll see how these go along. And everybody looking to start on the mediums, as you say. There's no tyre rule for a sprint race. You can start and finish on the same set of tyres. You don't have the usual mandatory two compound restriction. Keys are disqualified, but he will obviously be reset to the grid, so he will still start the sprint race. Yes.
And well, just to kind of touch on something you mentioned earlier, we ran out of time, I think, going into one-shot quality, but you said second in standing, Curtis, with, well, one hell of a drive last week, and there he is back up into PA. He was eliminated in Q1 last time out, but he's back up in the front half of the grid, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, 2 Samsungs currently in podium positions, so they'll be looking to try and score as many points. Samsung looking to claw back. Where are we on the constructors? Samsung quite low, but they did have a lot of absence in the last few weeks, so that's obviously not going to help the cause.
Now, of course, but to be fair, if you look at, we've got, like I say, there's the debut for Wouter in the reserve livery, but to have Pease and Walker, Sloth, DJ, Mikey G on the podium.
Yes.
As well, so
here is slightly different for a sprint race. First place you get 5 points, second 4 points, third 3 points, fourth 2 points, and then fifth 1 point.
No, a lot of these guys at the front, we've already seen some close racing from them. So 10 laps. Obviously, this is just to get the positionings, like points for it, but to get the position for the race. And if you could see there, Pease, his car is angled right across there to attack what's going to look like Wouter into turn 1 already.
Yeah, this immersive setting, I think, allows people to be slightly more creative, but, you know, as long as you get your purple flag, then you can have a good off the line. But we're going to have the 5 lights here, 4 lights, 3 lights. Boogity, 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 and let's go racing. Walter is away, but P's right up on the inside. He's already looking to take the move, and he does take the position from Wouter right at the beginning there, and it looks like we've got a couple cars off.
We have a mob around Ramsel. He got tagged by, well, it looked like his teammates were all around him, unfortunately, and yeah, he ended up backwards. And we got another car around as well. J-Marts has gone around on pit exit.
Couple suffering early there. This sprint race, only 10 laps. It's going to be crucial for you to get going. Walker down a position, but P's up 1. So Samsung being split there up the top.
And Sloth doing well as well to get up into the top 3.
But Wouter is trying to go around the outside of P's, coming down this end of sector 2. Can he get round? No, P's does keep hold of the position. Sloth on the tail of Wouter as well. Walker still following behind. Death Dragon,
and of course you've got DJ with Tom all over the back of him. Yeah, I was just about to say, Tom is going for DJ. DJ's going to want to try and stick with these front guys. Of course, it's going to be important for the race, but as well, points are at hand. It is a quick race, so they've got to make these moves count. And back we see Curtis and Mini change position. So Curtis, I think, may have dropped a position or 2 off the beginning of this sprint.
Yeah, I think Curtis was up into 8th place. So as you say, yes, dropped a couple of positions there. He's down 1 net at the minute, but Mini up 8 in total.
He's doing a Ramsel. He started near the back and he's, again, lap 1.
Oh, yellow flag. We have Extremist. He's off. Right, where are
He's starting to gain a bit of a... Well, starting to break out. It's only half a second, but to be fair, half a second is still quite a bit after just one lap. And we've got a yellow. Tom's gone. He's gone. We've lost him. He's retired. Reserves out.
And we have a safety car. Safety car here in a sprint race with only 10 laps. A couple position change there. I'm not sure what's going on. The Castrol of Mikey G and Chewy. I think they swapped back though afterwards. I was just about to touch on Keys. I was really putting the pressure on the other reserve driver of Liam, but unable to make a move before that safety car period came out.
No, this is something I didn't even expect, actually. I didn't even think this could have been a possibility for the sprint. I was expecting probably more in the race, but already the action's coming quick and fast for us this evening.
Yeah, it's a bit wild. It's a very fast-paced Formula 4 session here for you today.
And already, as you always say, Bloom, your favourite word, of course, is pandemonium already.
There's pandemonium. Extremist picking up a penalty as well, so I'm not sure what that was for, but it is a 3 second.
I will check that for you. I believe that was under... I think it may have been a collision early on. It was a collision... Extremist with the penalty. I beg your pardon. It was track limits, unfortunately. But it did look like him and Ramsell had a bit of a tag. I think he may have been the guy that tagged Ramsell at turn 1 by the looks of it on the game. But of course we have a stewards channel that all the drivers can appeal and post their incidents in.
Yeah.
Post race.
Oh, we do have 1 or 2 in the pits. It must be for damage because I think with a few laps we have left in this race.
Well, I think this could be okay. Interestingly, for another set of mediums.
No, Liam has gone for a set of softs.
Yeah,
so
Curtis, though, stayed on mediums.
Yeah, I wonder if he went in to repair damage, but maybe it weren't damaged enough for the engineers to think to swap it. Cause
yeah, there was no front wing damage. I find that strange. I was just about to say, I know there'll be like 5 laps left at the end, but the softs are about half a second a lap quicker on Delta, plus they're going to be fresh compared to... I know it's only 2 laps on the mediums, but again, that Delta's going to be quite big.
Yeah, but this track, as we say, it's been opened up to allow for a lot of overtaking. These long left-handers now, get a better opportunity to take the overtake. And if you've got the traction in your soft tyres or fresh medium tyres, but it's still a short session for you to be climbing through the grid.
Yeah, well, of course there's going to be that delay as well. We've not had DRS activated yet. Of course, 2 big overtaking opportunities on this track.
We've got through relatively quickly, and bearing in mind there's only 10 laps of this session, will the safety car go round again, or will the safety car make a sensible decision and come in? Michael Massey, can you just give him a call, please?
Just about to say safety cars issues at Abu Dhabi. Where have we seen that before?
It's called a motor race. We go car racing.
We go. Well, in regards to the teams, to be fair, you touched on the constructors' side of things. Got all three Samsung drivers in the top 7 at the moment. Like I said, this is only the sprint, not the full race. But it's a very strong start already for those boys. Even Castrol as well, up in the top 3, just sitting outside the top. They're sitting just in the cusp of the top 10 as well. But the Marlboros are all sitting quite close as well.
A few more pits. That's bonkers.
Are we seeing some more softs, possibly? People going for more of a great... Yes, we are. Keys is in for softs. Ramsell's in for softs. That is a double call for the Marlboro boys.
Curtis has now switched to softs. Curtis, I think, meant for softs.
There we go.
Time. But I've got to mention, you mentioned big advances or something along them lines. There was a trend there. I was trying to snap in, but hey-ho. Mini Ramsell, 10 positions gained in this session. Fantastic first 4 laps or 2 racing laps from Puma driver.
Yeah. I was just about to say, in regards to the teams, only 2 Pumas racing this evening, Xerxes and Mini Ramsell, and both of them currently 6th and 8th, which is a brilliant showing for those boys.
Yeah, Xerxes just outside of the point scoring positions here for this sprint race. No, I think this session's that mad as well. We haven't even had much text in the chat on Twitch for tonight either, because normally there's quali sessions going on and drivers during their little stops filling in the chat sessions, but no one's in here today because they're all busy out on track as the safety car is due to come in this lap.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit like probably a lot cleaner than a 5-lap open lobby race online, but I can imagine it's going to be just as manic going for those quick moves, risk versus reward. I'm going to really want to keep an eye on the likes of Liam, Keyser, Ramsel and Curtis. They're going to be quick off the mark here, so P's at the front. How is he going to do with the restart? We'll let you, Bloom, take over at this point.
These soft runners at the back are going to want to be getting going, but P's doing a restart. We've seen him do some fantastic safety car restarts before now, and are we going to see the same again? And I think he's away. Just before the last corner, he floored it, and he's already building a gap to the reserve driver, Wouter. Wouter following down everybody in order. No real big advances, but who do we have? We have Pillars. They're looking to have a go at Mikey G, but not able to make anything advances there. And we've got some position changes at the back for the soft runners.
Yeah, Keys has done the important move. He's got himself to the front of that little group of soft runner tyres. He's going to want to be at the front now, so he can be the first guy to attack these medium runners and start to get his elbows out and get stuck in. Curtis has jumped up on Ramsel as well. And so these four at the back are going to be very close.
Well, as you touched on earlier, no DRS still for another 3 laps because of that safety car. So not yet.
We're going to move Mini Ramsel up the inside of just Mikey as well. So Mini Ramsel moving up to 7th now. Brilliant start for this boy.
Yes, again, the only 2 Puma cars looking to push into the points positions. And we've got these soft runners at the back really pushing each other. You've got Extremist just up on the inside of Keyser.
And we've got Pillars running side by side with Mikey G. And Pillars has gone around the outside of the new left-hander. He's gone right round the outside of him.
Oh, we've got position changes everywhere. Keyser and Extremist still swapping places. Liam pushing himself up there. Got a lovely helicopter view to try and catch all that, but there's too much going on for me to even comment.
I was just cut to that, and the 2 JPSs look like got very close coming under the hotel.
Extremist with another track limit penalty.
Just like Mini Ramsel coming in with the quickest lap of the race. The quicker lap of the sprint even, sorry.
Keyser, I think J-Mart's made a big mistake there, and Keyser took right advantage. Chucked his Marlboro directly in front, and Liam is away.
It looks like he's caught it. I think he may have had a bit of a wobble going into the pit exit lane. But I'm just keeping an eye on Wouter here because he is right on the back of Pease. 3 tenths now, 2 tenths separating them as they're on the first straight of 2. Is he going to go for it into the chicane, down through the middle sector? He's looking at the inside, he flicks to the right. Is he going to be late on the brakes? No, not yet. Pease holds him off. Meanwhile, he's been tagged. Sloth has got through. Walker's up to 3rd, DJ's up to 4th. DJ's watching this. Walker's now got the drive on Sloth. Mini's up to 5th, he must have passed Xerxes.
Yeah.
It's all happening at once here again.
Wouter, big loser in that little contact there. I'm not really sure what happened, but Pease is almost in a sandwich there. He's looking to have a go around the outside. Just Mikey, this seems to be Pillars' favourite overtaking space here on this long left-hander that they've introduced to this track this year.
Fantastic just to keep a touch on the front guys as well, that has freed Pease up with over a second gap now. However, Sloth, Walker and DJ have Mini Ramsel Jr. He's right on the back of them.
Yeah, Mini Ramsel now in the scoring position. Point scoring position.
And we've seen, Senior as well. Senior's up to 14th, so he's making ways through now on the softs.
J-Mart, he's off at the back as well, so he's dropped right down.
But this is the lap we're going to see the DRS activate. So can Sloth get within a second of Pease to get that toe? Because if he doesn't, he's going to be very vulnerable to the several cars behind. It looks like he's done it.
Curtis climbing up the positions.
How long is going to be the straight? Beg your pardon, yeah, Curtis up to 12th. Keys is up to 10th now.
I can't keep track of these position changes. And he's neck and neck with Chewy going down this straight. But Chewy is the one with DRS, and actually he's overtaken by Curtis also.
So with this one here, we store a change. Mini Ramsel's gone round. No, Junior's lost it at the chicane.
Curtis just tagged Mikey as well.
So Wouter's back up to 5th. Xerxes in 6th now. But again, at the front, Pease just had enough of a lead there to stay out ahead of the DRS.
This is bonkers.
But already we can see the soft runners. I know there's only 3-4 laps to go, but the soft runners 8th and 9th of Curtis and Keyser.
It's just absolute pandemonium. Absolute pandemonium. There's no other word used to describe this kind of situation. I'm looking on a rear view of one of the cars and I could just see so many cars side by side. It's unbelievable.
I'm going to have to look back and see your...
Ramsel is round. And also, who's that? Chewy was round as well. That's just bonkers. I could see some the stewards' room being busy later tonight because it's just bonkers.
I mean, I knew it was going to be busy and it was going to be hectic for us on the commentary. It was going to be entertaining, but I was not expecting this. We've got Curtis right on the back of pillars, literally within a 10th. I'm sitting currently on board though with Sloth because he is now half a second off the back of Peas. As they go onto the back straight, that DRS is going to go wide open on the Castrol. Is he going to get close enough to have a go for the lead?
Wouter overtaking DJ there. DRS assistance.
Well, of course, and Muta even has the fastest lap so far, and Curtis has made it past pillars.
So it's looking tight at the top now. Less than a second separate the top 3.
Is Sloth going to go for a move? Maybe try a bit of a pillars around the outside, but not close enough to get the late break. So Wuta, where he's cleared, he's gone purple in the middle sector as well, the reserve driver. Now he's past DJ. Is he now going to start to try and claw his way back to the front?
Yeah, Wuta back in the score. You know what I mean. Point scoring position.
Point scoring position. There we go.
Extremist and Chile.
Oh, it's extreme. Sorry.
No, it's all right. They're having a ding dong. We're having a ding dong. It's all dingy dangy.
Oh, we got yellows in sector 3. Is that? There's Mikey G's come around. Wouter again with the quickest lap, fastest lap of the sprint.
Excuse my dog there.
Your dog is excused.
Liam trying to claim a position from just Mikey.
Brilliant on Keyser as well, closing in on Pillars down in 8th and 9th. Is Pillars going to let him go through, play the team game? If he can stick with Curtis, again, these guys on the softs are slowly creeping up, but is Sloth, Walker and Rooter, are we going to see any position changes down the back straight?
Rooter looking to have a go on Walker, but Walker also with DRS to defend.
Oh, and there's a bit of a lock up there from Walker, but he just managed to recover it well enough, and he's going to keep the DRS. Well, on a side, we've not seen much this season. P's out in front, but that's not the point I'm going to get at. He's actually got half battery deployment, so he's obviously using that battery to stay out in front where he's under attack.
That's rather unlike P's to be using his ERS, but needs must here. We got a yellow flag at the back there. That looks like possibly Ramsel, so I'm not going to go on board.
I think it was a Marlboro getting loose.
So Liam making way with just Mikey.
There's been a collision between teammates. Keys has gone into the back of Pillars. I don't know if that was miscommunication there, but it looked like Keys got a bit caught off guard by Pillars in the braking zone, and Pillars have managed to save it, but Keys unfortunately running wide 2 corners later and picking up a penalty for his trouble.
Well, I've got to say, we're coming now onto the final lap of this sprint session.
Already?
It's quite tight at the top. Yeah. Right, I think we're going to have to go with these front runners as they come down to the DRS section. Sloth probably too far away from Peas, but Walker close enough to Sloth, but Sloth with DRS as well.
Well, Wooter got a bit of a dodgy exit out that left-hander before the first straight, but it's all going to be the drive now down this second mould. Probably one of the last attempts to overtake now.
Well, unless you're Pillars and then you overtake on the next corner. J-Mark's
saying that
swap the position. Sorry.
No, by all means, I'm saying it. I'm calling it when I see it, and so are you. It's all good. We've got a Castrol round, unfortunately, down at the first corner.
So let's ride on board now. We've got Peas in the final sector. Our first ever sprint race here at Formula 4, and it's looking strong for Peas. He started in second place, managed to take first position from turn 1, and he's managed to lead every single lap since then, and Peas completes our first ever sprint race here at Formula 4, winning the Abu Dhabi sprint race, earning himself an additional 5 championship points, followed by Sloth, Walker, Wouter and Death Dragon.
And to be fair, something that slipped my mind, of course, all these unfortunate penalties were picked up during the sprint has changed it up a bit. Curtis actually got promoted up to 6th now for the race to start as well.
Yes.
So bear in mind where he was at the beginning. He has actually come out on top, considering he was at the back after a pit stop.
Right, I'm not going to ride on board with the guys at the back who's obviously not had the sprint race they was hoping for our first ever sprint race here. But Pease really dominating that session. But as you say, he was using ERS deployment there more than he normally does. But Sloth taking 2nd place, Walker in 3rd. Wouter, our reserve driver, his debut, if I'm not incorrect, for Formula 4. And he takes 4th place, earning himself 2 championship points. And pole sitter.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah, all of that, like you say, pandemonium. And that's not even the race. That's just the sprint.
Yeah. Bonkers.
I'm just keeping an eye on the chat quickly as well. Mini Junior unfortunately got hit on the rear. And even DJ stepping in the chat as well. My pedals aren't working properly. Well, if your pedals aren't working properly and you've still got 5th, got 4 points on the board.
Yeah, it's a fair result. And my pedals don't work properly either, DJ, because they don't go anywhere near as fast as yours.
Of course, it's the equipment's fault.
Yes, it is. It is. Good operator always blames the equipment.
Yeah.
So
just having a look at the Marlborough boys doing well as a result. They're 3 in the top 10 for the race.
Yes, yes. But this will now lead on to our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 50% distance. We will see how far everybody can go. Hopefully, we'll have just as much exciting racing there as we did. Obviously, Bomb Disposal Man enjoyed it quite well because he's just give us a follow. And also, F1 Farth give us a follow 11 minutes ago, but I missed that. So let's just replay it. Let's get that back up on that screen, F1 Farth. Thank you very much for the follow. But already 16 seconds counting down on the clock to go straight into our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Just going to touch on the chat as well. We had that last message. I'm surprised you didn't see that one, Bloom, but Princess Phoebes, I can't believe this utter pandemonium.
Woo! See, do you know what I can't believe? I can't believe I haven't had any excitement talking about quali times and are we going to get into the 1 minute 26s? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Let's just go with it. I'm sorry, Bloom. You're gonna have to just make do without it this time.
Yeah, but let's have a look at the starting race time. We've got quite an even spread between hards and mediums. So.
Well, yeah, he's looking like the optimal strategy. A one stop, just the mediums and the hards.
So, but P's choosing to go the hard way round, but that is P's, and that is what he normally suits him quite well. Suffer at the start. But when you're on pole position, it's easy to run the alternate strategy.
Well, and of course, if you've got the pace as well, some of these drivers that are confident in their ability are going to run the slower compound. At the end of the day, if they can hold the track position, they're going to be on the quicker compound come the end. But with the sprint, like we saw, we did have a safety car. And, well, the race is going to be 3 times as long nearly, so what else can unravel?
Safety car can really change up the race and really play with your strategy. If you're on the hard tyres and the safety car comes out, say, only 10 laps in, it's going to put you to a disadvantage for your strategy.
I think the medium runners, as it's just popped up on the screen in front of me as well, the medium runners were expecting to do about 12 laps for their pit window, hards 17, and there is a possibility of a 2-stop, but the delta doesn't look too favourable. The delta between the mediums and hards as it is just over half a second. So hards are that much slower is what I'm trying to get at. I'll get my words out eventually.
Well, as you pointed out in that sprint session, the penalties in the end did come into play. So are we going to see any penalties here to deal with? But repeat from the sprint session, we have P2 pointing towards P1 in an effort to take it by turn 1. So we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Boogity, 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 let's go racing. And I Am Sloth is not got as great a start as Peas. Peas is running away, but Wouter getting up a position there, straight into 3rd place from 4th. And quite a few position changes down the grid, but we do have a relatively clean start to this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as we come round. Xerxes looking to gain a position from Keezer, but unable.
Sorry to cut in. Sloth's all over the back of Peas going into turn 3 of the 4. The left-hander onto the back straight. Whatever start Peas got is gone. Sloth is right on the back of him.
Sloth on them medium compound tyres. He does have better grip. He's less than a tenth. He's touching the rear gearbox of that Samsung. Is he going to make it?
Is he going to try around the outside? He's got the inside line still. They're side by side. But clearly those mediums are heating up a lot quicker than the hards. And they're still side by side as they run down the 2nd straight.
Yeah, we've got Wouter right behind them. So any mistake here will cause the 3rd place to take the ticket.
Sloth's tried a pillars around the left-hander, sorry. And he's just tucked back in behind.
Oh, swapping inside, outside, and the Sloth was even off track for a short period then as well. He's pushing Peas to the absolute limit to try and take this 1st place position from him.
And Junior's made a move up on Xerxes there, up into 9th. I know Pillars has gone wide, Junior's gone through. Junior's up into 8th now.
Oh, and we have Mikey G off at the back, but as you say, Pillars making moves.
Xerxes and Pillars side by side through the last couple of corners. It's managed to put just Mikey right on the back of them. We've got a couple pits happening after the end of the 1st lap. Just going to keep a touch on them, see what's happening.
So he's taking his time trying to come back on track safely. It's the right thing to do there, but it's cost him a few positions now, down 6 positions from the start. But I think it was off again then as well.
Yeah, the start this time round was a lot cleaner, like you said. I think a lot of the drivers took a more avoiding action as they just ran off onto the AstroTurf.
Sloth is really closing down on Peas, coming down that 1st long straight, DRS enabled. Oh, not enabled yet. I mean the DRS
next time round.
But he's going to have a look again. Less than 2 tenths. Oh, just proving me wrong. Just dropped down the 2 tenths. Can he make it round this left-hand corner? No. Doesn't look to have the space, but he's got some good traction coming around here on his medium compound tyres.
Noticing it a lot here, the hard compound runners are coming under attack very quick, to the point now where Wouter is actually, to be fair, pressurising the back of Sloth.
Yeah, but Wouter is on the hard compound, so the mediums of Sloth must be burning out slightly, trying to get his way past Peas.
Just a quick touch while we got a second. The 2 pits start at the end of lap 1, Liam and Ramsel. There was a wing change for Liam onto a fresh set of mediums, and Ramsel, there wasn't a wing change, but he did go onto a fresh set of hards.
Good to know. Ramsel now able to go to the end on them hards, should he be able to, but it would be a big ask. He's done his tyre change.
A safety car wouldn't be out of the question, and like I said, the softs are viable here if you're on the right strategy, so if it happens at the right time, Senior could be back in.
Got to point out now, Sloth is 4.
Go!
Wow.
Let's go! Come on!
Sloth 4 tenths off the back of Peas. Down, DRS now enables. CM Skates putting 1,000 bits in. Fantastic. Thank you, CM Skates. But are we going to see any overtake here?
Peas managed to hold him off. We did have a bit of a spin at the back there, I think, by Pillars as well. One of the Marlboros got a bit loose again, but down the 2nd straight, you see the sun glaring off the screen. Is Sloth going to get close enough? Is the Castrol going to have a go up the inside? He's gone for a bit later on the brakes, but Pillars has covered him off into the left-hander. This has put Wouter right on the back of Sloth. Is he going to get the drive to get close enough?
Yeah, it's fantastic driving from these 3 up the front, but every move has to be calculated because, as you say, Wouter right on the gearbox of them as well, so any mistake will put him at the threat of the reserve driver behind.
Yeah, and well, to be fair, it's a little phrase I've liked you've said so far this evening. A bit of a ding-dong there between Tom and just Mikey going under the hotel section, running side by side for a bit, and Tom has come out on top.
Tom looking to also make a move on Extremis there. He's looking to be pushing quite hard.
And we've seen a position change as well by the Puma boys. It looks like Mini let through Xerxes, which, to be fair, Xerxes is on the mediums, so it's going to be more beneficial for the team game.
So, oh, and we have yellow flag. We've got pillars. DNF in the pits. But I've got to ride on board Sloth. Sloth is now looking like this is going to be the move where he gets round the outside of Peas.
He's still got a nose in.
He's took first position, but now Peas will have DRS to get the overtake coming back. Sloth.
I think Wooter's in for a shout here as well. Wooter's there with him.
So Peas currently taking first position round the outside of this big long left-hander at the end of the session. And like you say, Wooter looking now on the outside of Sloth also. But Sloth and Peas almost making contact.
There was nothing between them. As Peas came across the front of that Castro, that could have gone horribly wrong there.
Good racing from all of these. But Peas ultimately taking that first place position back. And normal proceedings resume.
Well, for someone who's we got a Samsung round by the looks of it. I think it might be just Mikey, unfortunately. But someone who said their pedals aren't working very well. DJ now within half a second of Walker, and with all this, as you say, ding dong going on at the front, Walker and DJ have just started to creep their way up to this battle for first.
Yeah, they're all going to have DRS enabled right down to Xerxes in 8th.
This is one big DRS train, and all these boys we've seen battling at the front this season already.
So the only real gainer is going to be Sloth going against Peas as he dives up the inside to take that position.
He's left the space, but is he going to get the drive enough? But Woods has gone for the drive on Peas. Woods actually got alongside him. Will's alongside front to rear. And now he's going to get the DRS. He's got to get the toe off of Sloth as well. He's going to go around the outside. They're going to go 3 wide into the right left-hander. Peas has managed to pull it off. Is Woods going to get the drive on Sloth on the outside? No, Sloth has held second. This is brilliant.
How close is this racing here between these boys? It's unbelievable.
I'm going to need a drink in a minute.
Well, I caught some of that on a replay, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get an opportunity to even play it because of the sheer racing that's going on. But Keyser, Curtis, Xerxes, all in this fight as well. Basically, this is an 8-way battle for first place in a fashion. Because all within a second of each other.
All these guys have been close enough or have had the pace to be on the podium either so far this season or something along those lines. So it's not out of the shout at all.
No, but this is how has the sprint race affected this? Has it really brought a different kind of opportunity for some of these racers? I think one shot quali might have thrown a spanner in a few people's evening.
No one's lost looking for it again. No, he's going to wait for the second DRS straight, I think, this time.
Didn't get.
Is he going to get the drive?
I think Wooter had a better exit than Sloth there, both with DRS.
Is he going to be looking forward or backwards? So this time, Sloth's going to go for the outside on the mediums. Is he going to have the grip or the set to get it? Peas has just scraped it out in front, but on the inside is Wooter.
Oh, that's just can't get anything between these three. It's unbelievable.
I'm clenching every time they get to one of these high-speed corners. Oh, it's so close.
We've got movement further down the field, but I'm not sure if I can tear myself away here. Keyser awfully close to the back of Curtis also.
And on the back of that, Xerxes is right there as well. Like you say, this battle's just going on, and these guys have all shown pace to be at the front throughout the season so far. Wooter, of course, what a debut for our reserve driver.
No. Pole position from our one-shot qualifying session. And then an interesting but fantastic show from the sprint.
And Xerxes made the move on Keyser. They're side by side as they come onto the back straight now. But it looks like Keyser's just dropped in behind Xerxes to get the toe. And we got yellows out. Looks like it's the last corner. We've got a safety car.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ramsel looked like he had a bit of a moment, but I don't see where that safety car came from. Oh, we got Ramsel's got no front wing.
Yeah. I'm sure he had a front wing when I looked at him a second ago, but hey ho.
I think he lost it on the last corner.
Yeah, but anyway. This is going to make things interesting. Sloth now with a little bit of an open ticket to pit, although we will lose quite a few positions with how close the drivers are, but that will be possibly his one and only stop of the race. But Pease and Wooter and Walker, Curtis also probably wanting to... Oh, it was only a virtual. It was only a virtual. We resume racing. I completely ran away with myself there.
No, I did the exact same, even though I was looking at the mini-map going, oh, there's a yellow dot for the safety car, and there wasn't one.
Michael Massey, I'll just blame him.
Again, it's more safety car pandemonium at, Abu Dhabi.
What can we say? It's just like real F1. But interestingly, Wooter, I think the most ERS for now as well. So I'm gonna stay on board with Wooter because he's got a lot of juice to throw at this battle now, and we will have DRS with it only being a virtual safety car. The DRS is still enabled.
I mean, to be fair, the top 6 all look like they're running on half battery, but Sloth's going for it. Up the inside again, a bit later on the brakes on the mediums. He's going to squeeze. Looks like got very cozy with the side pod of piece. Oh, he's lost the back end of the drive, and Wooter's got through.
Wooter is through into second place. We have had a position change up in the top 3. That has stuck.
That door just shows how close it is. Little mistake, just a little snap of overstick coming out of the corner. Back, lost of traction. And just like that, there's another car now between Sloth and Peace.
Well, now Wooter and Wooter and Pease on the same compound tyres. Wooter being freed from Sloth. And we got
J-Marts has gone round. Again, those front 3 boys, only 3/10 between them. Or separated by 3/10 even is probably the correct way to say that one. But again, he's starting to break away. Xerxes, it looks like Keyser's just about trying to hang on to Xerxes. Xerxes just trying to hang on to the DRS of Keyser. Sorry, Curtis, even, beg your pardon. My words are all getting jumbled up now. It's all happening.
It's just pandemonium in the mouth.
That's the one.
Crazy. Just Mikey in the pits from his medium compound tyres, possibly looking to go onto hards, but I think maybe... Yeah.
It was hard to maybe able to stretch from here, but it'll be interesting to see now what Wooter's going to do. It'll be the first time he's had a go at Pease down into this, and he's made the move before the braking zone. He's in front, and he's actually got the car positioned perfectly in front of him, but can he get the drive to stay in front? What this has done is put Sloth right on the back of Pease again, but Pease he's coming straight back at him.
Yeah, Pease will have DRS. And Pease looking to go around the outside, but Wooter is doing a great job defending off from Pease.
It looks like he went for the cutback, and he just couldn't get the drive. The car just wouldn't stick, but these two already breaking away now by a couple of tenths.
Sloth still hanging in, but as you say, these two looking to be making advances away from the pack. But we've got Chewy and Extremist.
Oh, Sloth has got Pease! Pease went wide! Sloth has got through!
Oh. Ah. Jumping on
I didn't catch it on my side. I was too busy looking at Curtis all over the back of DJ. But yeah, Pease, I think, had a bit of a moment under the hotel. Sloth didn't need a second time asking, but Wooster now, because of that, is now over a second clear. And he's actually got the car positioned perfectly in front of him. But can he get the drive to stay in front? What this has done is put Sloth right on the back of Pease again. But Pease he's coming straight back at him.
That was Wooter. Pease will have defending from Pease coming down into the final section. But we go back now to the live stream as we go down the first DRS straight, and Wooter 1.7 seconds away from Sloth.
You can see as well the batteries are starting to be burnt now, and Pease is now making a move back on Sloth. Is this going to open up for Walker to maybe have a little bit of a sniff here of a chance? But yeah, all their battery deployments have dropped significantly since the last time we checked.
Yeah, and Pease in a horrible position now because he's in second place, but he doesn't have DRS from the car in front, unlike Sloth. Sloth will have DRS.
Yeah, Pease has been able to hold this position though without DRS many laps against Sloth before. So I think Sloth's starting to get a bit fed up of staring at the back of the Samsung. And just coming down the back straight, we've got Chewy closing on Extremist a bit further down for 11th. Chewy's looking around the outside, but I think Extremist may just have it covered off. At the moment, we got Extremist, the JPS, is holding up 3 Castrol. Sorry, defending from 3 Castrals, beg your pardon. But they're all over the back of him.
Oh no, what's happened, Walker?
Sloth's gone. Wait, Sloth's had... Oh, they're in the pits. Wait, I'm so confused what's happened here.
But Walker was way off. Walker's got wing damage. So I reckon some people there was looking to go into the pits and some wasn't, and then it just a bit of crossed wires meant that...
So I'm interested to see who comes out the pits first, and if anyone's taken damage.
Well, yes, I mean, Walker will probably be delayed in the pits, but Curtis, big gains from that. Death Dragon, now both chasing Wooter.
And, whoa, and I know he's not been right up there, but he did a great start on Junior now, up into 4th.
Fantastic race from Junior, gaining 8 places. Tom, our reserve driver, gaining 13. Extremist.
Oh, Curtis
9.
is looking at... Curtis was looking at DJ. I think, again, he's going to play for that second DRS straight. Now, these mediums are going to be going off. Again, the pit window was around 12 laps, so they cannot be feeling very nice at the moment. And Chewy's made it through on Extremist, unless you did say that. I do apologise.
No.
But Mikey G's there as well. There's 2 Castrals and a JPS.
They're ding-donging on the fresh. Oh, and I think the bet. Oh my God! Sure, Mikey G was completely sandwiched there between the 2 cars. I think Mikey G was going to look to make the most out of that situation, but ended up losing out.
He has got through on Chewy, and he's now looking to like he's going to go to the inside of Extremist. Oh, they got close on that apex.
Death Dragon in the pits. Curtis carrying on.
There was a split second later turn in, or a bit later on the brakes. That would have been Extremist and Mikey G off, but staying out. So yeah, all of our medium runners looking to come in now. Is anyone going to stay out? Extremist is staying out to run long. Mikey G will, and well, Chewy is as well. So that does leave, yeah, P's just behind them. How close is this? Xerxes is actually the second runner on track at the moment on a fresh set of tyres. But where is everyone going to come out compared to those 2? And DJ's right side by side with P's on exit.
Making absolute massive advantages there to be coming out with net with our first place fighter, contender. He wasn't strictly in first place at the time, but yeah. These
whatever happened
coming into play.
in those last 2 corners before the pits, whatever's happened, DJ's made the most because he's now currently sitting net P2.
But Mikey G and Extremist having a right old fight now. Who is going to have DRS? Extremist is going to have DRS. So although Mikey G gained that position there, he's going to have to defend hard against the DRS JPS behind him.
I think that battle is getting very close. I think Extremist is getting a bit fed up of Sea Green in front and behind him now. He's been swamped by 3 of them the last couple of laps. Now he's got 1 in front, 1 in behind. Just keeping a close eye on just Mikey as well, and Keezer further down in the battle for 13th. Mikey on 3 lap old compared to Keezer's 1 lap old hards.
Yeah, it's interesting now, isn't it? Because basically we've got B's now up into 6th. And as we say, they're like front 5th. He's first of the pitters. But Wooter, he was on the same strategy at the start. He did run the hard tyres, same as Pease. Pease already pitted to get his mediums on. But where is that going to leave Wooter? Is Wooter going long going to benefit?
I think Pease has gone to get out of that battle. He was losing quite a bit of time, I think. Well, they all were, where they were battling away. So maybe get a bit of fresh air, try and get some fresh rubber on and try and get the undercut on Wooter. Or maybe go for an aggressive 2-stop. Like I said, the softs, again, they do about 6-7 laps. Again, they could come into play at the end. They're about they're over a second quicker a lap than the hards.
Yeah, Extremist now in between Pease and Death Dragon. I weren't sure if Extremist was trying to move out of the way or just break the slipstream, but I'm now thinking he was just trying to break the slipstream from Pease because he's still in between the 2 cars there.
Sloth and Xerxes side by side at the end of the second straight. Sloth has gone straight up the inside there, up into 7th, so he's still trying to hang on and fight his way back through to where he was before.
Yeah, I think these positions will soon resume back to where they were. Mikey G and Keezer going side by side, coming round the final sector.
And DJ's practically pushing Extremists through the last couple of corners there. They are right nose to tail, the Marlboro and the JPS.
Yeah, Death Dragon now being held up by Extremis. Extremis has dropped back nearly 2 seconds apiece, and in all that time, Death Dragon's had to wait behind him.
Then again, those 13-lap-old mediums cannot be
Mikey
nice.
G's
And
out.
we've lost someone.
Mikey G is out.
Oh, and well, it looks like DJ's just made the move on Extremist, but in doing so, I think he did it right after he had a full course caution.
Yeah, we do have the safety car coming out, so we do have a full safety car here. So the second one of this session.
Beg your pardon, I need to apologise for that one there. It looked like DJ had passed Extremist, but I think that was just due to the delta because DJ slowed down. But he has actually he made the position right as the yellows went out, just in time.
Yeah, they have got in them positions, and Extremist does have a penalty, but I don't think that is from overtaking.
I need to throw this out here. The pit stop strategy is normally lap 17 for the hards. Wooter, Curtis, Rams, Mini Rams are in third.
Wooter has played the ultimate play here because now, whilst everybody is driving slow, our current race leader and reserve driver in the shape of Wooter is coming into the pits and will surely be out before everybody
Tell you
else.
what, as soon as they cross that pit exit, their delta, they can turn their pit limiter off. I'll tell you what, Junior's in for a shout. Pease is in.
Pease is in again.
Pease is in again. DJ stayed out. So Junior, depending on where he's going to be with DJ's coming down the start finish straight now. Where is Junior going to be? His pit limiter's off. He's going under the bridge.
This is going to be tight.
I think DJ may have just done it, but is he going to come out ahead of Sloth? He does. Junior, P4 on a fresh set of mediums. Cracking
mediums.
play.
Yes. Took well advantage there, and as you say, as he turned his pit limiter off, he didn't have a delta in that pit lane, so he was able to go full throttle, whilst Sloth was having to follow a delta more likely.
I think he could have challenged DJ, but I don't think he wanted to risk everything because the exit of the pit lane at Abu Dhabi is very different to the other tracks on the calendar. You go under the tunnel and it's very tight and the walls are very close, so you make a little slip up, you could end up in the wall.
Right, now whilst this safety car is going round, I do have an instant replay, but we will have to just check what that is first because I can't remember what it is. And Droftas resubscribed for the 11th month. Thank you very much, Droftas. And we go to on our stream to our
He's in
instant
front,
replay.
and he's actually got the car positioned perfectly in front of him. But can he get the drive to stay in front? What this has done is put Sloth right on the back of Pease again. But Pease he's coming straight back at him.
Currently in first,
Pease will have
Pease
DRS.
all the way down in 11th. And Pease looking to
deciding
go
to
around the
pit
outside,
again.
but Wooter is doing a great
Now, I
job.
just wanted to have a quick look at the position changes. Sorry to jump in there, Blue, because I was just curious. With all this shuffle up we've had in regards to the safety car now, a big shout out to our reserve driver, Tom, up 11 positions. Sitting there in 7th at the moment.
Fantastic driving there. 11 positions, phenomenal achievement. And still more positions to be gained.
Now, Pease is in again.
What?
Well, I don't know. He went onto the hard tyres, 10-lap-old hards. He's pitting again. Is this surely to put on another this set of mediums? I don't quite know what's going on here. This is one of our championship contenders, protagonists. He's on the mediums now.
I think I know what he's probably done. He's probably gone in thinking I'll put a fresh set of mediums on, but then realised you only get one set of mediums.
But it wouldn't have let him select mediums, surely, if you only get the one.
Well,
So
it
he's
depends
actually
how he
come in
does
for
it.
the hards to put the mediums.
It depends how he does it, because you can just tell your engineer set mediums, and then it
Oh, I
probably
guess,
will
yeah.
just default to another compound.
So
So,
that completely shuffles the back half of this race up now.
well, it gives Pease a really big job to do as well. 'Cause
I mean,
surely,
we've seen what this man can do.
where are we looking? Everybody's stopped at least once. Pease 3 times and Ramsel 3 times, but we won't go on to that. Wooter, Curtis on mediums, Mini on fresh mediums, Death Dragon on hards. All of them could probably go right to the end. All the tyres can probably go right to the end. So Pease really leaving himself at a disadvantage, being 14th on fresh mediums. Well, fresh mediums are 4-lap old mediums.
Those the low, well, all the tyres definitely. I would be surprised if they don't make it to the end on the Delta. But as we saw after the initial restart that we had, The mediums, oh sorry, off the start as well, beg your pardon. The mediums heat up a lot quicker. They get to temperature a lot faster as well. So Mini looking in prime position there to maybe have a strike at the Marlborough of DJ for a podium. Even the likes of Walker as well, sat in 8th place currently. Still, the mediums are fairly fresh.
Yeah, I think we will be going round again. But I think we could now sensibly start talking about Driver of the Day nominations, and I think we have to throw it out there. Although he took pole and he is currently leading the race and stands a very good chance of being on that top step anyway and being in for a driver interview, but I think Wouter deserves a shout at Driver of the Day. First reserve drive here at Formula 4, first sprint race, and what a phenomenal drive he's had.
Oh, 100%. I would definitely throw the likes of Curtis and Junior, even Tom. Just for 3 off the top there, I'll just throw a couple of names at you. You're doing the poll. You can choose who you like.
Well, I'm thinking of using this time to try and set it up because I think that would be good.
A couple of suggestions. Of course, in the chat, if anyone has anyone they personally think deserves it, by all means, do let us know.
Hey, oh, I've done that.
Right, so I think the safety car will be in this lap, definitely. Now they're all bunched up. Ramsel's up to the back of the pack now. Just a quick rundown of the field if you're doing the pole, Blue, or if you've done the pole.
No, crack on.
By all means, so like I said, he took, the front row of the grid in our sprint. He's got back to the front now. He's currently our race leader, Wouter, in his debut in the reserve, and as we just get the notification, the safety car is in this lap. Right behind him is Curtis for JPS, who's currently sat in 2nd in our standings, I believe. Do correct me if I'm wrong. In 3rd is our current championship leader, DJ. Junior rounding up in the 4th. What a hell of a race he's had so far. Right behind him, we're going to have Sloth and Xerxes 5th and 6th. Tom, like we've mentioned, up 11 positions up into 7th. Walker and Extremith 8th and 9th. Keezer in 10th. And then we've got the Castrol Samsung duos here. We've got Chewy, Mikey, J-Mots and Peas, surprisingly. 11th down to 14th. And the Marlborough of Ramsel rounding up the back. And of course, 3 retirements so far. Mikey G, Liam and Pillars. But I will hand the restart back to you, Bloom.
Yeah, poll up now on Twitch, and it brings a good time to see Wouter coming around the final corner, and he's away. He's done the restart, not quite like a Peas restart because Curtis is there on the back, and we've already got Mini Ramsel having a look on the inside. DJ coming round turn 1 on them fresh medium tyres, but he's also under threat from Sloth behind.
Sloth had to lift that by the looks of it. Mini Ramsel's gone for those mediums. He's really pushing it. But we've got someone around. Extremist has gone around. That's just unfortunate. Mini Ramsel's gone for the move. He's gone on the inside. Mini Ramsel's up to 3rd, but is he going to stay where he is? Further back, we got Sloth, Xerxes, all over the back of DJ.
Yeah, Sloth didn't look to have a great exit there. I think he had a little bit of traction problem on the back end, which really put him off the back of Death Dragon. Yeah, fantastically clean racing at the start here. Extremist losing out, biggest there. Don't really know what happened, but Wouter and Curtis running away with this now on the mediums. So,
yeah, 100%. Mini Ramsel making the move that he had to do early on, but in doing so has kind of backed everyone up into each other. And it's letting them get away. And Sloth and DJ having a bit of a scrap there, and Sloth is up to 4th.
Yes. No surprise that we've got votes already coming in for Junior for Driver of the Day. Looking like he might be in the driver interview room for a podium finish anyway. Oh, but he's just picked up a 3-second penalty. Why was I talking about him? Commentator's curse. He's now got a time penalty to suffer, and his counterpart, Randall, also picking up a penalty.
I mean, in regards to that, I think he may have had one already, but on those mediums, it's not over. If he's got the pace, he needs to get his head down, try and stick with the likes of Curtis and Wouter. If he can get that DRS, we've seen how powerful that train can be, but it's if the likes of Sloth and DJ are going to let him run away.
Yeah, he's looking to make some moves now. He's on the back of Chewy, and without DRS assistance, I think he's going to be making his way past.
Yeah, that battery deployment dropping, but he's made the move by the looks of it, unless Chewy's going to get a bit later on the brakes. But no, he does make the move before the turn. But once again, we are seeing a train from 7th up to 3rd, which is all one big DRS train, and he's only 3 tenths, 4 tenths out of the DRS zone. Mini Ramsel to Curtis and Wuta, who are kind of leveling out a little bit. Looks like Wuta's settling back in. Curtis was really hot on the restart. Can he reel back the reserve driver?
Walker and Xerxes getting quite close. Walker wanting to take the position because he's on the softer compound tyres. So he should have more traction coming out. But Tom in the background as well. Awfully close to the back of the Marlboro of Kiza.
Now we're going to start seeing these times drop, these fastest laps, definitely as we come into the last part of the race. DRS enabled, we have 9, 10 laps to go, including this one we're on now, if I've done the math correct. So, we've seen the mediums go to around lap 12, we've seen the hards go around lap 17. So you guys at home watching the stream could definitely kind of see who's on what tyres and, well, how close it's going to be.
J Marks is away. Extremist now joining him on track.
Is Curtis going to be close enough to have a go? He's within DRS. He's down to 5 tenths. He may have an attempt, but DJ has just been passed by Xerxes. Xerxes with the DRS wide open, so that is Pumas up into
Tom,
3rd and 5th.
Lots of position changes. Keys are losing out there big time.
And it looks like Tom's now going to come under pressure from Pease on the 2nd DRS straight. So Pease gaining multiple positions there in the space of a couple of corners.
Yeah. He's realising he's made a mistake with them pit stops. Really looking to claw it back as much as he can.
And Walker's made the move on DJ round the outside into the hotel. So that puts Walker up into 6th on those mediums. Yeah, so his next target up ahead, he's going to be looking forward to the Puma of Xerxes.
Yeah, these medium runners really looking to do damage.
Yeah, I think Walker's going to, well, you're going to see Walker maybe start to possibly struggle with tyres. The same with Pease as well. Again, 12 laps is normally when we start to see the hards come out on top. 3-second penalties unfortunately coming in. We're definitely going to have a look at that penalty situation in the last couple of laps to work out where everyone's going to be. But just jumping at the front as well, Wuta, who's our race leader, still leading near 9 tenths clear now of Curtis. He's sat there confidently with just under half a battery deployment. Something we've seen with Pease do before. Curtis quite low on the deployment. He's burning that battery to stick with him.
Non-existent, but Pease making his way past Tom. Great exit from Pease as well. Tom not really having much to say in reply. DRS assistance bringing him closer, but that exit that Pease got really nullifies the argument.
Just behind that, we've got Chewy closing in on the back of Kiza through the long left-hander. The Castrol getting very close on exit. He's to the left. Are they going to go side by side into the car? No, Kiza's just got the drive to keep it in front. Hold on to that P10. But the gap at the front down to 4 tenths, 5 tenths. Curtis has really closed in the final sector.
Yeah, Walker also chasing Xerxes. But as you say, medium tyres. Extremist around and Rams all around. Some of these guys really not having much fun. Again, I think maybe this handling setup change is just really put a lot of people off.
To be fair though, you say like a lot of these guys have turned a lot of more assists off this season. I know we touched on it earlier on in the season. This is only their 5th race together in that sense with these assist differences. So it's not something that depends on how much time they want to put in between sessions. And Xerxes and Walker's side by side, heading through the chicane.
Lovely racing there. Xerxes only just behind, but that will mean he will get the
Oh,
DRS.
that was a tactical play there by Xerxes. It looked like he lifted before the line to get the DRS. I could be overseeing it, but that looked very close and very clever if it was by the Puma driver to hold on to 5th.
Yeah, it
Oh,
helped him.
there's snap on exit.
Massive snap.
Excuse me.
Almost thought he was waving at him with his gearbox.
But Curtis looks in a lot stronger position as well with the battery. He's reeled Ruta in. Ruta, again, sat at about just under 50%. This is heating up at the front once again. We're seeing Curtis in the dying embers of a race.
Yes.
Up at the front, scrapping away.
We still have Pease trying to make his way through the field, and we're looking at Walker and Xerxes, but Pease is right behind, getting a front row seat of that ding-dong, wanting his own ding-dong in there.
And Chewy up into the top 10 now for Castro. He's made the move on Kiza down the start-finish straight. So next up the road, he's got a 3-second gap to try and close down now on Tom. And that kind of brings you all up to the, well, like you say, the little ding-dong that's going on here from Xerxes back to Tom. And in the middle of that is Pease and DJ.
Yeah, our championship rivalry down in 7th and 8th.
I'll tell you what, somebody who's going to be enjoying this right now is probably going to be Curtis, currently sat in 2nd. Be interesting to see how this would affect the point standings if they were to end as it is.
Oh, Xerxes not having a fun day. He picked up a penalty and he was offline. I don't know what was going on, but he's dropping positions now. Big mistake there from the Puma driver.
Oh, he's going back up the inside of Pease, though. He's not taking it without a fight, but I think Pease is going to have to drive on those mediums, definitely. And it looks like Curtis may have had a moment because the gap at the front is now to 1.5 seconds. So I think it may have just been unfortunate for Curtis there. But currently, Mini Ramsel is doing a stellar job, 1.7 clear of Sloth. He's just enjoying himself there in 3rd place. Brilliant drive by Junior.
Yeah, fantastic drive. Unfortunately, overtaken on the Driver of the Day vote currently as well by Sloth as well. So if you want to put your votes in for Driver of the Day, get them in now because it won't be up for much longer. Currently leading is Sloth in the Driver of the Day vote. But yeah, we're getting to see, although they've amended this track to open it up to allow some overtaking, we're seeing a lot of DRS trains here.
Yeah, well, this used to be, I think there was kind of an issue with, not an issue, sorry, with Abu Dhabi. It was quite a big thing with Abu Dhabi last year with the old layout. The new layout has just given us so much more action, but again, these DRS trains making it harder to overtake when you've got multiple cars together.
Yeah, unless you're pillars and you're in Sector 3 in that long left-hander.
They say the way he was driving that car earlier was something else. He had such confidence in the...
Unfortunately, he didn't have a great start to this race, obviously, but we
no, of course.
the effort he gave us in the sprint, and Extremist is off again, I think, by the looks of it, and maybe that has caused a virtual safety car. So I'm assuming Extremist has no front wing, yes, and the Marshals now trying to get out there to pick that up, which neutralises the race, with everybody having to drive to a delta to maintain their position, but you can, as we've seen in the Real F1, after a virtual safety car ends, you can still play a good advantage, and where it ends might be pinnacle to how you do. And
Xerxes is in the pits. Ooh. Xerxes is taking this as an opportunity to get a bit of a, not a free pit stop, but a pit stop for that matter. Is he going to put the softs? He is going for the softs. No wing change. He is going to be quick with 5 laps to go. What can he do?
He's quick, but he's lost a lot of positions to get them tyres on. So, although everybody is still driving slightly slower.
Well, those tyres, they are going to be about a second a lap faster than the 3 drivers in front, like I said, on the Delta. So Tom, Chewy and Kiza, they are only a couple seconds up the road. Or well,
if it's a second a lap, fair enough, but we haven't got 14 laps left of this race.
I've just noticed the Delta. I thought I was reading the Delta wrong on my end.
So... maybe he was worried about not finishing the race on them tyres, but this virtual safety car is going on for a while, and here we go. Just as I say that, it's restarted, and Pease, as we've seen George Russell do, looking to try and take advantage of the virtual safety car ending, and he's right up on the inside of his championship rival, and then almost touching wheels.
And Chewy and Kiza, the little ding-dong that was going on between them for 10th is now for 9th. Chewy holds on, but at the front, just want to touch on the cracking restart for Wuta, now up to 2.7 seconds clear.
Phenomenal racing from Wouter. His debut here at Formula 4, reserve drive, and also without any penalties.
Of course, actually, to be fair, saying that, we've only got 3-4 laps to go, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the penalty situation. Junior in third has 6 seconds. Sloth in fourth, holding 3, so that does open this up to Pease, Walker, and DJ. Who have we lost?
Away. Walker's away! Walker just completely lost the back end. I just caught the end of that, and he's got no front wing, so Walker will be plummeting down the positions. 15 laps on their mediums. Was that too much? That is the question.
Bloom, I think you know as well as I do that right-hander, as you go on, you keep it flat and the car can start to slide as the tyres wear off, and unfortunately one of the first things that can happen is the wall. Luckily he's kept it out, but I think at the moment the main thing is DJ and Pease is going to want to be making it past DJ as soon as possible, because like I said, Sloth has a 3-second penalty and there's a 5.5 second gap between those drivers.
Yeah, penalties might change a little bit here. Not too much though, not as much as I thought it would, but Mini and Sloth might change positions.
It's quite a 50-50 though down the field. Wouter, Curtis, DJ Pease, Keezer, Walker, and just Mikey, the drivers without penalties. So it's split, like I said, quite fairly down the middle in regards to who has and who hasn't.
So 3 racing laps left of this Grand Prix. Yeah, it's been rather quiet on the chat tonight, hasn't it? But
I think, to be fair, I would, if something like this was happening on stream, I'd want to be watching it more than typing away looking at my phone, to be completely honest. So I've not been able to look away.
Yeah. So where are we? Pease on Death Dragon again. Championship rivals, including Curtis, but he's up in second right now. But Pease looking to get into 5th place, taking the position from Death Dragon, and some lovely clean racing there between those two. Coming down the back straight now. Death Dragon now, and Tom with DRS. Pease defending. But no position changes looking to be made, but Pease definitely needs to keep the good foot down, because he's having pressure applied to him from behind. But I think Tom overshot, missed his braking point there, and almost went straight into the side of Death Dragon. Death Dragon's awareness quite sharp there to manage to avoid the reserve driver. But petering off a little bit, this racing is here, so we will go back to one of our instant replays.
With these assist differences, so it's not something. It depends on how much time they want to put in between sessions. And Xerxes and Walker's side by side, heading through the chicane.
Very lovely to see some racing respect between only just behind, two experienced drivers.
Oh, that was a tactical play there by Xerxes. It looked like he lifted before the line to get the DRS.
Managed to keep hold of the position by hanging back and keeping DRS on. But we go back now to our live stream. We're looking at Death Dragon in 6th place after just being overtaken by Pease, but I think we have a difference in tyres there. Death Dragon on 16 lap holds, but Pease on 16 lap hold medium. So who really has the better tyre? Because the harder compound not giving you as much traction, but lasting longer with durability. But how 16 laps on some mediums, how much durability are them mediums going to have? We've just seen Walker come off the track and lose his front wing after colliding with the wall on 15 lap hold mediums.
Saying that, Sloth on 17 lap old hards. 17 laps is the cut-off for the hards as well. And Sloth is catching on Mini, who's on 13 lap old mediums. So it's starting to close up at the top end there. But more importantly for both those drivers, as they've got the penalties, we're going on to the final lap. We are on the final lap now for our race leader, and the gap to Pease is 7.6 seconds. So at the moment, both drivers we'll see a position change between Sloth and Mini. But at the moment, we may not even see Pease on the podium.
No, I don't think we will. We've got, is that Extremist? Yeah, Extremist round.
Wouter leading now, I say leading now, nearly up to 4 seconds clear of Curtis, who is a further 3 seconds clear of Mini. And within that DRS zone, we do have Sloth closing in on Mini. So can Sloth take Junior on the final lap?
He may take him on penalties in the end anyway, but a
DJ and
heavy
Pease
driver will want to take
as
him
well,
on track.
very close. No penalties involved here, and there's only 3/10 between the two drivers. So you would think DJ's going to have the advantage of the tyres. DJ goes to the right. He's going around the outside of Pease on the final lap, and he's made the move.
Yeah, final lap overtake from Death Dragon on Pease. But we have to now go to our race leader. He took pole in the one-shot qualifying, lost it in the sprint, but managed to get first place back. His debut for Formula 4 as a reserve driver. Wouter takes the win for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Curtis extending his... he's probably going to be challenging for the lead of the driver's title now, having taken second place. But our championship rivals, Death Dragon and Pease, taking 5th and 6th respectively there as well.
Waiting to see where everyone else comes across the line. Xerxes, after that late pit stop, does come home in 10th on the softs. I do believe I saw Walker claim the fastest lap of the race on his softs. We will see obviously in the race director after. And in the chat on the stream already, we are seeing there are bits that, well, I think there are going to, well, like you said earlier, the stewards are going to be busy, and the admins of this league are going to be very busy in that chat, looking into some appeals that could be going up.
Yeah, already contesting some of the penalties in the chat. Mini, obviously, with 6-second penalties at the end, which meant he did swap place with Sloth. But we will have Sloth in for the driver of the day as well. But that rounds off our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix round 5 for Formula 4. Just for good measure, Tom does get driver of the day from the game. But we go off our Twitch feed. So our driver of the day is Sloth, which is also our 3rd place finisher. For now, until the stewards get to review the incidents. But for now, he is our 3rd place podium finisher, as you see up there. But taking the top step, Wouter, reserve drive, first ever drive for Formula 4. And what a phenomenal show he's put on for us today. Really bringing the challenge to Pease during the sprint session. And during the rest of the racing, him, Sloth and Pease really showing us what this racing standard is here at Formula 4. So as we go again, as we say, Wouter taking top step. Sloth taking 2nd. What's happened there? I feel like that's in a different order.
Oh, what, the results? Yes, it would be due to points.
Wait.
So the sprint race and the race did actually change. If you scroll all the way to the right, you'll see your race results.
Yeah.
That first page showing your weekend results for most points gained.
Yeah, that's confusing as hell, and I wasn't expecting that. But hey, if I'd done a bit more prep, maybe I would have foreseen that. But we basically have the race results there. Wouter, Curtis and Sloth taking the podium positions, and Sloth driver of the day. But we will go now to our driver interview room, and we'll try and get the drivers in. So if you bear with us for a few minutes, we will be coming in with our drivers. Right, we are here in our driver interview room. We've not managed to get everybody in, but we had our driver of the day. It was a tight call between Mini and Sloth, but Sloth did win driver of the day, and then he did pip Mini to the podium for now as well, at least before the stewards have looked at their instance. And Sloth did have a fantastic race. We've seen some good racing between him, Wooter, Peas, and Xerxes, I think, just to name a few battles that he had through his time. But then we are now also joined by our second place finisher, Curtis, and looking strong in the the championship fight right now as well. How was that race for you, Curtis?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that race. But the worst thing about it, I come onto the start line, I got that audio glitch.
Oh
So
no!
all I could do was my engine was making like the weirdest of noises, and I thought, oh, I'll just do the race and just try and just I don't know get somewhere decent. And then it opened up, and I thought it didn't really affect me. Then it kind of got used to it, but I didn't really have many battles to be fair. Apart from at the end where I was pushing a little bit too much to stay in the DRS and I lost it. But yeah, it was a pretty boring race, but happy it was second.
Yeah, to take second place from from the race we was watching, like you say, you was nice and quiet in the background, just waiting for your opportunity. Do you think strategy played mostly into your podium finish?
Yeah, I think I don't know if you lads realise, but I'm not actually that quick over one lap. But in a race, I can seem to put it together and get consistent laps and seem to have good race pace. So yeah, I think because I started on the hards and most people around me started on the mediums, bar the guy that won. So and the safety car come at the right time as well, really for us.
Anything to add, Diggle?
Well, I was just going to touch on the fact you said about you were pushing to keep up with Wooter as well. We noticed the gap dropped down to about 4/10 at one point. Didn't catch it on my end of the cameras. I don't know if we caught it on the stream at all, but the gap suddenly dropped to over 1.5 seconds. If you don't mind me asking, what happened?
The worst thing about it is I had the chance to go past him. I think it was about 6 laps left, and I was on the first DRS straight, and I could have easily gone past him, but I thought, no, I'll just sit behind him. I'll try and save my DRS. I knew he had a lot more pace than me. I thought if I go ahead of him, he's going to take me straight back over. So I thought I'll stay behind, and then about 2 laps later, I thought I'll stay behind for the first DRS and try and get him on the second. Then on that little chicane before the second DRS, I just lost it a little bit. Then it went to like 1.2, and then yeah, that was race over really.
At that point, were you aware where the likes of DJ and Peas were? Because Peas, it looked like, unfortunately, a bit of a mare under the safety car, and DJ was a few spots behind you as well. So, like you say, you were second in the championship standings. You finished ahead of both your rivals, so it's a very strong result. It was were you aware of where they were?
Yeah, that was another thing as well. And because it sounds weird, but because I had that audio glitch, like the audio puts you off so much. So when you're trying to put the power down, if you haven't got the right audio, like sometimes my back end was going where if I could have the right audio, I would have had more confidence to like push a bit more. But yeah, I knew where they was, and I thought second's better than in a wall, so I'll just cruise home.
Yeah, I think.
Well, no, brilliant drive though. Once again, Curtis, you're making this a regular thing as well, speaking to us week in, week out.
Hopefully it can carry on.
Well, as you say, not fast over a single lap, but over a race. We certainly see you up there with Glock a lot of the time as Glock's shadow.
Yeah, normally I'm probably like 3 or 4 tenths off like Peas and that off, if maybe another tenth more. But in the race, I can get close to him. But yeah, a couple of them are just too quick. Like that reserve today, just a bit too quick. He is. Him and Peas should will have good races.
Yeah, well, we did see some fantastic racing from them all. But congratulations on your second place.
Yeah,
well
cheers.
deserved. But our first place finisher, he took the pole position from the one-shot quali, brought us a fantastic fight from the sprint, and then just converted that into a phenomenal show for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and really went long on his tyre strategy in comparison to Pease, who was his main rival during that session, adding in a bit of Sloth in the mix now and then. But yeah, he fantastic drive from him. But we are now filling in the driver interviews. We've got Mini in because he was quite close on the driver of the day votes, and also he just had a fantastic drive here today. Gained a lot of positions. I can't remember how many it was in the end, but really just missing out on a podium place and driver of the day, but you really brought the show to us here. How was that race for you, Mini?
Well, let's say it's very tense, and I was shaking towards the last like 5 laps of the race, trying to pull on Sloth, but he was just rapid, and I couldn't really lose him. Yeah, and then what was it? I think the last couple laps, I see him get within a second of me. So luckily, I was able just to lose him around the second sector, and the third a little bit, but first sector he just blitzed around me, and then luckily I just brought it to the line a few tenths ahead of him.
Yeah, and obviously any racer will want to be across the line first rather than winning on penalties. But yeah, I think I've seen you put in the chat about trying to contest some of the penalties that you've got. So obviously, after the stewards reviewing the incidents, we could see you in the history books as a podium finisher here.
Potentially, yeah. It just depends if Sloth's getting this removed as well. I heard he might, so it'll be close. It depends, but he does kind of deserve the podium. To be fair, he was rapid, especially on those hards when I was on fresh mediums.
Well, to bring the fight to him as well, you've obviously brought a fantastic showing to have bring your position from where you started the race. Certainly brings you deserving to be in this driver interview room talking to us now.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was just like sprint race was decent until eventually, so actually accidentally broke a bit late. Wasn't really his fault fully. Then I spun and finished the race wherever. I just had a lucky start really because of medium traction. We don't talk about that.
I thought it was
Wait.
Bruno. We don't talk about.
You,
Anyway,
you say about the the traction, and one thing I just wanted to touch on is your pit strategy. Were you aware when you stayed out long and that safety car coming in? Were you aware it was going to keep you right at the front?
Well, I didn't know I would be right where I was coming out of the pits because I was actually thinking in the race to go maybe as far as I can on these hards and finish the race on softs, maybe 5 laps. But that safety car came out and I see everyone boxing. I'm like, I'm going in. And then I see DJ going across the finish line when I was at the pit exit. I'm like, I'm not getting him. Fair enough. I don't want to push and try and crash out. But then I see Sloth and those behind. And I'm like, oh, okay, I might as well go a bit fast, but not crazy to potentially crash out. Luckily, I came out a tenth ahead of him, just getting me the place.
Well, yeah, it was perfect. I did think if you were going to push it on the pit exit to try and get DJ, but as we said on the stream, I think it would have been a bit risky with how tight that pit exit is. But you played it well. You made the right call, and once again, we're talking to you into this booth after one hell of a evening, mate.
Yeah. I need to go and take a rest anyway after that.
fantastic drive, Mini, and congratulations on your finishing place. And yeah,
Yeah, thanks, guys. And
No.
well played to Sloth and the winners. They were just too quick.
we did see some fantastic racing here today for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and that was round 5 for the Formula 4 Season 4. But join us next week where we will be in Belgium. Hopefully, we won't be having a wet race. We know what Spa's like with a wet race, but we'll see. Join us next week. Thank you very much.